Is John Metchie a lock to make this roster? What DeMeco Ryans said to me about the new kickoff, I think you'll like that. He also had a lot of other things to say. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localized, every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too. Landlocked, got the game.
All right, we've seen the Texans on the field one time. There's a lot of questions that have emerged. DeMeco Ryans answered many of those questions. We'll hear from him in a sec. It is the Locker Room, #1 source for Texans digital content. I'm Landry Locker. You can hear me, see me right here throughout the week. Got you covered. I'll be on the scene and got a lot of stuff going on. It's a very active day today around town. Just got me a little bit of Chick-fil-A as well. Never go wrong with it. I know some people try to be hipsters and talk down, but nothing wrong with a little Chick-fil-A. Someone said they heard me on 97.5 earlier today. It was badass to hear me back on the air. Yeah, I was on with Jeremy Branham on the ESPN affiliate here in Houston. I actually got some thoughts on some Houston radio-ish things. We'll get into it at the end of the show. Most of y'all don't even listen to the radio, but I do think there's something it's just weird to me, and I thought this was weird for months, and seeing it from a different point of view, I think it's even weirder. I don't know what the hell is going on, so I'll get into that a little bit later. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. Let's hear what DeMeco Ryans had to say. Let's start with my question to DeMeco about the new kickoff rules. And just so you know, the video, they use Zoom today. The Texans use Zoom today. They're in Ohio. I guess not enough people were on the scene. I don't know. They use Zoom. I mean, how old school are we? What is this, 2020? But we use Zoom, and DeMeco Ryans met with the media. And immediately I wanted to ask him about this new kickoff thing, because for me, I've heard a lot of opinions on it. It feels like it's 50-50. Some people like it. Some people don't. Some people are just getting used to it. It definitely was different. I thought the broadcast did an excellent job of kind of laying it out. But who gives a damn what I have to say? Well, hopefully you do if you're in here. But let's hear what DeMeco Ryans had to say about the new kickoff. Like with the new kickoff, was it weird seeing it in the game situation? Did anything stick out just with your first time practicing that in a game?
Thank you for the question there, Landry. It was I wouldn't say it's weird, because we've been practicing it for since OTAs. We've been going through practicing it as much as possible. So you don't know what's going to happen until you get live action, right? And what I noticed from the kickoff is just it's definitely a lot of big hits, a lot of violent hits, and I think it's tough. Like the 5-yard gap between the guys is tough as a kickoff return unit to get back, to get your feet set, and to actually get a guy blocked. It's tough. So what you saw a lot of guys running free, and you saw returners running downhill full speed. So you saw a lot more collisions than you've seen, on the kickoff in the past couple years. So definitely some work to do is when it comes to cleaning it up when you're trying to get those blocks. It's tough to block a guy when he's full speed. He's on you at 5 yards. You got to turn around as quickly as possible, get your feet in the ground. What I saw is a lot of guys unimpeded to the returner, and a few big hits there. Brooks had a big hit on their returner. Jake Hansen, he beats his block, and he comes off, and man, he's on the returner very quickly. He ended up coming out of the game, so it's going to be interesting. We'll see next week. I'm interested to see. With 16 games going, I'm interested to see just after we get more looks at it, more data, and see, what is to come of the new kickoff. But it's definitely interesting. And
I don't think they like it. I don't think Frank Ross likes it. I don't think DeMeco loves it. I think he's going to make do. I think they're going to accept any challenge possible. I think they're a good enough coaching staff to where whatever's thrown at them, they'll put an elite effort forward that puts you in better position than most teams. But I just don't really think they like it. I really, really don't. And not saying I necessarily blame them. It's weird. I enjoy it for my own entertainment, but I don't have to coach it. So that's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and open the lines in here as well. I'm going to the link will be posted at the very top. It will be pinned, and we will allow you to join the show if you so choose, Cody Stute style, if you will. Open lines. Let's go New York radio. Hey, Johnny, what's up? Stay on topic though. We don't have to bring up too much random stuff. Let's try to stay on topic, stay efficient, and keep it going. I guess Dom in Jersey says he wants to pop in. So I'll go ahead and put that in here. There it is. You can see it. The link is right there. So if you want to come on through, and we'll make it happen. That's the link. Let's hear more from DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans, I'm not the only person that he talked to. He talked to other people. Here was what DeMeco Ryans had to say as he met with the media following the Texans' preseason opener against the Chicago Bears. Damn, I got Jonathan Alexander in a bad spot right there. Okay, he's going interior line. Okay. Okay. So the O-line, unsolicited right there. There you go. Okay, so I guess the press conference is not playing. I don't know what's happening there. Maybe it's because it's Zoom. Can y'all hear me though? Like y'all can hear me though, right? Just can't hear Miko? That is a damn shame. Yeah, don't know what's going on with that. So damn shame what they did to DeMeco there. I don't know. That's it. Maybe it's because it's on Zoom. It's playing on my end, just nothing there. But he unsolicited. He praised those guys. He actually had some not harsh, but he had some strong words for Metchie. Basically said Metchie's been practicing well. We got to see it in a game. We got to see it in the game. John Metchie. I know that he's the people's choice and he's the locker room's choice, and got to see it in a game though. And I do wonder, because the other day, and I'll raise my hand, I said Hutchinson was probably gone. I like Hutchinson. I'll believe it when I see it that they would be willing to part ways with John Metchie just based on the way that they talk about him and what he may mean to that team, which may be deeper than just on-field production. There may be a deeper meaning to it. I think John Metchie's like the 7th best receiver on the squad. I'll just be honest. I know that's not the popular thing to say, I like John Metchie. I always have to say this. I've talked to John Metchie multiple times. We've interviewed him. Not a press conference, like an actual interview. Love talking to him. But just based on what I watch, I think John Metchie right now, you can make case probably the 7th best receiver on the Texans. Maybe. I talked to someone who follows it closer, and they had him at 8. Follows it much closer than I. Much closer view. They have him at 8. Does that matter? I don't know. Like, is there some sort of deeper feel or deeper meaning that keeps John Metchie on this team? Perhaps. Maybe he has a really good game and we see something. But if you told me right now, do I feel comfortable with John Metchie playing in an actual game and having to contribute? I don't. But I'll believe it when I see it if they cut him. We get, and this is always what comes up. And I'm not questioning the why. You know, I mean, I'm not questioning the why. He said he's feeling 100%. He said he's feeling great. I'm not questioning the why. The why is obvious. I'm not minimizing it. I'm not saying that it should be different. I'm just saying, and this is what he told me he wanted, was to be evaluated like a football player. I think he's the 7th best receiver on the team. That's impressive, right? With everything he's been through. But that's what I think he is. Number 4 is Noah Brown. Noah Brown's number 4. Number 5 is probably Woods. And then, hell, I could go Hutchinson or Skoranek right there. It might be 8. Sorry. I do know this, though. 7 or 8. That's what I think John Metchie is. I think he's the 7th or 8th best receiver on the team. It's not popular to say. I'm not being mean. I'm not saying that that's what it's going to be. But just based on what it is, I think it's 7th or 8th. I don't think that's even a hot take at all. Not even a little bit. And there's no big. He might still hang around. I mean, I do think there's like a rally factor around him. It's not like you're relying on him if you bring him back on the roster. But we know this. And we can all be honest about this. If John Metchie would have done what Xavier Hutchinson did yesterday, they would have canceled Andre's Hall of Fame induction tomorrow and probably just had like a parade for that. I'm just saying. Woods, yeah, I think Woods is in the mix too. So we'll see. Do you think we re-sign Brevin after the season? If not, who's tight end 3 if Teagan gets cut? Teagan's not getting cut. He got hurt. He might have actually he might be able to be stashed now. And he avoided like a real serious injury. So he might just go on the injured list and be hanging around, perhaps. Yeah, I don't know if Brevin gets another contract or not. I have no clue. Was the game slippery? Saw Fisher slip. Did you see the rain, sir? I don't know whether it was slippery or not. I can't speak to the field, but I did see a damn green monsoon coming over there, and I saw a bunch of rain. So I would assume that perhaps it's probably not the most stable ground. Metchie's the sentimental favorite, but when building a team, we must think logically, not emotionally. Well, I think emotion can factor in. I mean, I just don't know. We'll see. But as we sit right now, he might go out in the next preseason game and have 7 catches for 85 yards and a touchdown. And then we'll have to change what we see right now. I'm not completely dismissing him. I'm saying right now, John Metchie is the 7th best receiver on the team. Maybe. He's got to perform better. Or does he? That's the other thing. Does he? for me, like for John Metchie, I would like to see John Metchie playing 3-4 quarters of preseason games. 3 or 4 quarters. And give him a chance to be the guy that they showcase. We're going to Metch here. We're going to Metch here. 13 targets, 14 targets. Just give him a damn chance. Go out there like what they did with Colin Johnson yesterday for the Bears. Hey, Colin, you've been in the league for a while. We haven't seen much. You know what? Hall of Fame game. Our starters aren't going to play. Let's see what you got, kid. We're basically going to you every time. Let's do that with Metchie. Let's see what it looks like. I want to see that. I want to see how he handles it. Sign me up for that. I'm down. John Metchie's overhyped. I feel like he should stay in the practice squad. As harsh. It's not harsh, man. We're like you're judging him based on his ability. You're not saying anything bad with him. Am I going 6 for 60? No, I'm not. I'm full, man. I'm full. 6 for 60. I'm trying to not get too full for sure. Yes, Metchie has to be consistent. Drop the fullback, keep an extra receiver. It'll be interesting. I mean, Harrison's not making this team. He's not making this team. It's not going to be Troy Harrison. If they keep a fullback, it's going to be Beck. That's not going to happen. Stutz is I think Stutz is having a little date night tonight. That's the word on the streets. I don't want to put his business out there too much, but the word on the streets is he might Stutz might be having a little date night for sure. If Cam Akers keeps him impressing, he could really carve a rollout on the active roster for sure. Yeah, I don't know if he's getting busy or not. I have no idea. I won't put it out there not too much, but you might want to congratulate Stutz next time you go in his chat. So we'll see. But the John Metchie thing, we'll see. Other news, poor Tegan Quitoriano, man. Fortunately, nothing too serious, but this is why he can't have nice things. I actually heard an interesting theory that this might have actually saved him as far as the roster, because now you can put him on like some sort of injured list and carry him over. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's up with that dude. I think we're going to Dominic in Jersey. Dominic, are you? Dang, look at you. You're on duty.
Yeah, man. I just got a call. That's why I had to back out, but I'm back in.
Hey, if you want to go commit crime in Jersey, get out there.
Tonight's the night, man. Landry, let me start out. It was so nice having you back on the air today. I know you're doing your thing on here, but Houston Sports Radio ain't the same without Landry Locker on the air. You and Brandon were great together. So my first point is John Metchie. You were just talking about it. I'm so disappointed, and I know it was one game last night, but you go into the Hall of Fame game thinking, they're going to draw plays up for him. He didn't seem like a focal point at all, which is concerning to me. I think the amount of extra receivers they brought in, I messaged you once about Skoranek, not that I don't think that was necessary, but it just makes me worry more and more about John Metchie. But here's the only caveat to that. I think it's too early to give up on him. I don't want to waste a roster spot, but I just feel like if he goes somewhere else, he's going to flourish.
Okay, flourish? Like, what do you mean, flourish?
I just think he has so much potential. Dude, he was a stud at Alabama. There's no way he lost all that talent and ability.
I mean, we've seen guys that have been studs in college, though, and they just don't for whatever reason. And his reasons are, I mean, they're way more significant than any other reasons. I'm not disputing that. I just don't know, man. Like it's a deep position, and I said it before you were probably busy doing your thing, but I'm not like, I'm just saying, like, as I sit right now, he's the 7th or 8th best receiver on the team. Like, as we sit right now, I'm with you. Like, I want them to treat John Metchie like the Bears treated Colin Johnson yesterday. Like, hey, we're throwing to you no matter what, and just see what it looks like. And I want to see what that looks like. Like, I want to, when I look on my TV screen and I see John Metchie's not on the field in the third quarter of a preseason game, my question is why? Like, get him out there. Like, have him. He should have to go through the warm-up routine, starting, halftime, and then going back on the field. Like, I want to see him for a full game. Like that. Like, let's go. He's ready to go. Put him out there.
I totally agree. And again, I know it's a Hall of Fame game, but if you looked at the prop bets last night, he was under 45.5 yards. So for him to just go out there and get 2 targets, 1 catch, it just seems like Slowick didn't really draw up a game plan for him. And we need to see him. We need to see if something's there. The other thing I wanted to bring up with you is Davis Mills. What did you think of his performance? Because I went to bed thinking, like, Davis killed it, but then I kind of was thinking, but today I watched the game a little bit again, and I don't know. I mean, Brett Rippon showed him up, so maybe Davis wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. So I thought that Davis looked good. I think he's going to be a good backup. I think he's the best backup that they have. But I heard Seth Payne today on 610, and he was basically like, I was more impressed with Keenum, and he has a better eye than I. I'm not going to sit here and act like that. So I was impressed, but
I think he's done.
Some people were more impressed with Keenum. I think Keenum's kind of cooked a little bit.
He's toast. He looked slower than last year. I think he even admitted his arm strength is down a little bit.
Oh, it's down.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, let's be honest, too. That Tennessee game last year, Landry, that was a duck that Dalton Schultz saved him on.
Oh, yeah, saved him big time. Should have been a pick.
If Dalton Schultz doesn't save him, we're probably not, praising Case Keenum as much anymore. He's a Houston legend. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, it's a sin. You can't. They'll be calling for Case Keenum to be there. There's probably some people who want him to start over CJ. To be honest with you.
I know. There's some Case truthers there. My last point. When I was listening to your show today, you brought up a really good one. As far as the Texans, it hurt the Texans last night. The game being called, and I could not agree with you more because I'm watching this game. And I'm seeing, is it J.J. Taylor, right?
Yeah.
I'm watching J.J. Taylor get the bulk of the carries here. Of course, I loved what I saw in Cam Akers. But
like, was that Jawar Jordan? Oh, that's Taylor.
Dude, where's Jawar Jordan? Where's British Brooks? So,
yeah.
You made a great point that it was so frustrating to get to see those guys. So, as much as it was nice to see the boys out there, uniforms looked fire, by the way. There was a lot missing last night. Yeah, those are sick. But Landry, let me hop back. I appreciate you taking me.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk
to you. Rest someone.
Later, man.
There you go. All right, brother. It's Dominic in Jersey. So my point that he brought up was I actually think it was a big deal that this game got canceled. And by big deal, I mean like for a nerdy mother trucker like myself who covers this team 24/7 and for people who come in here and talk about the Texans, I think that it was an important game to see every running back get a chance to do what they do because running back depth's kind of an issue. I mean, you talk about who you think is going to be number 3 and a lot of names come up, although it's pretty much Dare Ogunbowale. But I think they probably had it laid out where, all right, Taylor's going to start it off with Akers, and then in the second half, you're going to get a heavy dose of British Brooks to see how he looks in a game, and maybe you see Jordan or something like that. And the fact that the game got canceled, I think that kind of hurt the Texans because they didn't get to look at the running backs like they wanted to. And I also thought that was kind of one of the advantages for this team was that with the extra preseason game, you're not going to play your quarterbacks or anything in that game, so it's likely going to be run heavy. And in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, they're probably going to be running the ball a hell of a lot. So I kind of thought that was kind of a missed opportunity for the coaches. Nothing they could have done about it. And it's not the end of the world. They can just adjust accordingly. But I would think that the coaches, the offensive coaches, while we have a decent idea of what the running back depth chart is going to look like, they probably would have liked to have seen these guys, perhaps getting more carries in every running back get some touches. Did not happen though. So there we go. But poor Tegan Quintariano, man. Someone asked how serious it was. I think it's it's not a tear or anything like that. I think he's going to be back in a few weeks, maybe. I've said that before, so who knows? This was said today, and I really don't get it. Are there concerns about the Texans defense? The defense sure looked bad yesterday. Who played? I mean, they set out their entire starting secondary. You didn't see linebackers out there. You didn't see your elite edge guys. I mean, there is nothing to even judge when it comes to this defense right now. Like that I think the defense is actually going to surprise some people. I think there'll probably be a couple games where the defense carries the squad. So concerns about the defense? No, not even a little bit. I have no concerns about the defense. You said Brooks recovered a fumble. I think it was Taylor, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was J.J. Taylor. Brooks is 44. I don't blame you for not knowing that. Yeah, calf strain for Tegan Quintariano. Maybe he just wanted a ride. I mean, riding in a cart is better than walking, right, to the back. Maybe he just wanted a ride. Maybe he just thought the worst since he's had such bad luck. So we heard DeMeco a little bit on the kickoff. John Metchie, we talked about him. A couple things around the NFL as we localize it. I think the Chargers could be a thorn in the side of the Texans once Jim Harbaugh gets things going there. In his NFL coaching career, 3 conference championship appearances in 4 years. I think that's pretty good. Justin Herbert, though, he has a foot injury. He's going to be out till week 1. They say that he'll be ready to go. Let's keep an eye on that. If the Chargers are without Justin Herbert, then perhaps we will have a better or a larger cushion when it comes to making the postseason, depending on what happens in the division. DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a knee injury. I'll be honest, I don't take the Titans serious, so I don't know how. I guess that doesn't necessarily impact the Texans too much because he's not going to miss any Texans games. And I don't really think the Titans are much of a threat. So that's where I'm at there. In Cleveland on Sunday, going to be covering all the practices. We'll be doing live streams from Ohio, probably going to go to the Hall of Fame on Tuesday. So we'll get that going. If you have any more questions, get them in. It has been the Locker Room, number 1 source for Texans digital content. Final thought, and I'm saying this as a fan of sports radio. I enjoy it. I went to college for it. I've worked and done it in multiple cities. One of the larger markets, one of the top mid markets for a few months, and then here in Houston for a while. And I just got to say, like, as a fan of the sports leader, Sports Radio 610, and I actually was kind of hesitant about this whenever I first heard that this was going to be the plan. I know a lot of you don't even listen, but just hypothetically speaking, how weird is it to send for Andre Johnson's Hall of Fame ceremony, send your 2 afternoon hosts to Canton, but not have them on the air on game day? Then send your midday host or midday producer there with them, and those are the only 3 you send. And then on the day of the game, because Sean Pendergast hosts pre and post, you take him off the air in the morning. You put someone, a fill-in on game day on the morning show. Then you put a guy who's on the sales staff that also has a night show on for an hour. And then you take your midday show and you push them back and have them go into pregame in which Sean speaks for the first time. So the guys that you sent there, you didn't even put on the air. What is going? I'm sorry. Like, as a fan of this type of thing, I'm confused by it. I'm gonna go to bed. It's been the Locker Room, number 1 source for Texans digital content. Be sure to subscribe, right along. It's going to be a fun time. A little bit of a downtime here. We'll have Andre night tomorrow. We'll probably have a live stream and react to his speech, react how friend of the show, Gary Kubiak, handled his business. But always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Thanks for coming through.
In the headlock, localized every time. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days. Opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up. We number 1. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize, every angle's what we really do. We the source, we the pulse of the city too.